Hello and welcome to a computer video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to build a computer, specifically one from the early 2010s. To the video. Okay, we are back. I hope the audio is good. I am recording this with my phone. So basically these are the parts I'm going to be working with. The thing's old, out of date, and can't do anything. This is just to show you how to put a computer together. I'm just going to get this bit of information out of the way. I know it looks like it was set on fire. The original ports I was not happy with, so I melted some on. Yeah. So when you're building a computer, you would want to get all the motherboard stuff done first. Right. The motherboard would be like a two-handed thing. You should really do all this stuff with two hands, not with one. But I can only use one. I'm going to switch to my right hand because I'm more dominant with it. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Oh, that came out frame. Okay, got it in. That was a bit scary because I do not want to break this. So this is just putting on the bracket for the cooler. So this is very out of date hardware. I don't know what GPU NOS is or what a EPU is, but I know this was but I don't know anything. This is just to show you how to put everything together. As you can see, it's an AM3 system with list of memories text. Okay, I can't find the text for the memory, but it's I can tell you now, it's a DDR3 memory. Troubleshoot key. Didn't see that text before. So now you will just want to pop the screws in. I'm only going to have integrated graphics, and like either the graphics on the CPU or motherboard, because of how old this thing is. It's harder to tell which one it is. So now I'm just tightening up the screws. Oh, where's the screw from? Right, one from the optical drive. Been stuck to my toe. Okay, gonna show you the CPU. We'll adjust. Okay, here. So it's a AMD Phantom 2, but it's a different type. But in my main computer also has an AMD Phantom 2, but they are not the exact same one. Because the one in my main computer is more powerful. Oh yeah. Oh, I had it one way. So you want to get this golden arrow to line up. By golden arrow, I mean, where's my finger? There. This small arrow right here, lined up with the arrow on the motherboard right here. It can be in different spots on per motherboard, and the arrows can look different, but still, there should be always an arrow. Is the pin like that? Oh, I forgot to lift up this. So this piece of metal needs to lift it up That's why the CPU wasn't going in, because I forgot to lift it up. Now, okay, it's in. Now you want to make sure that it's perfectly level. And so perfectly flat in there. And then you just want to push it down. You'll only end up having an uncomfortable amount of force, but that's normal. Just make sure the CPU is flat. On AM3, AM4, it depends on the CPU, but for AM5, this depends on the motherboard. Same with Intel CPUs. Those pins it's impossible to bend back. So AM4 and AM3, since the pins are on the CPU, you can bend them back much easier. And now I'm going to try putting on this old stock AMD CPU cooler on with one hand. This is not the best idea, but notice how this is just a random patch of a circular-ish thermal paste bit, and the rest is like all patchy and stuff. The patchy stuff is the original thermal paste, which is literal dust, and the thermal paste that can still transfer heat is extra thermal paste that I scraped off of a laptop. Yeah, this cooler was doing absolutely nothing before I did that. So this one, you just use simple loops. So if I'm placing my elbow, then see how there's a little notch there. You want to get this loop over that little notch. And I'm not going to show you how to put on thermal paste because I don't own any thermal paste, and I just moved the entire motherboard. Just need to do what's going on up there. Now we want to go to the lever on the other side and put it out. We just want to get over the notch and pull this lever back. Now it's secure. And remember, this is an older one, so if my knowledge is correct, modern and stock AMD coolers, you just use screws to hold in. Maybe Intel ones, you just push in the clips. Now I'm just gonna move the fan cable so there's nearby the cooler, where the CPU goes. You should see a header like this. There's 4 pins sticking out, and it should say like CPU fan. This motherboard only has 2 fan headers because it's an old one that is very small. This is how old it is. It has an IDE port. What came before SATA? It does not have a spot for NVMe. So now we're tackling the memory. I'm not going to enjoy this bit too much. But wait, I will just rotate the motherboard so there's not as much force, because I do not want to bend it, because I have this done so the motherboard bends less. And you notice that there's a motherboard standoff in this spot for a motherboard screw. It's because the case is missing a hole for a standoff. Where's the dent? Scratch. So it's missing a motherboard. Why is my hands shaking? There is missing a motherboard screw hole right here. Oh yeah, before you put your motherboard in, you want to make sure you have all your standoffs in. And the reason why there's so many screw holes, why is my hand shaking? reason there's so many screw holes is because this is a case for a server PC. But back to the memory. So first you want the camera needs to be pointed. So first you want to push the clips back. Right, just give it a little push. And now you preferably want to put in slots 1 and 2 because with most modern motherboards, that's how the chaining works. So channel 1 is for the first 2 slots, and channel 2 is the second 2 slots. Reason why we're not going to have it in those sticks in the same channels is because we're taking the advantage of dual channeling, where the computer will be able to write information to the RAM, which is your memory, and to both sticks at the same time instead of one at a time. This computer originally had 2 gigabytes of memory, but upgraded it to 4. The CPU should be 3 gigahertz. Just swap to this. Okay, so you hold it better. A fly landed on my phone. Hopefully this picking it up like this does not kill it. What you're supposed to do is pick it up from the sides and not touch any pins or circuitry. This one doesn't have a heatsink. If it has a heatsink, you can hold it by a heatsink. But this one doesn't. You want to use, if you're using multiple sticks, you want to use ones from the same kit. But I don't have that option, so yeah, using it from different kits. If you are going to use it from ones from different kits, then you want them to have the same amount of memory and the same speeds. So now, there's a little cut out here and a little notch here. You want to line those up, and you want to get the edges of the stick into the grooves. This side. Wait, I got into the groove on the other side without even looking at it. That's good. Now, when you're pushing it down, you want to put even pressure, but it also takes an uncomfortable mouthful. Did I put it in the right way? Yes, I did. I just wasn't putting enough force on the other side. You'll normally hear 2 clicks, but this one is a bit worn out for some reason, or I'm not putting enough force. Or maybe it's just old. Probably that one. Okay, got my other stick. Now, double checking I have it the right way. Slot in there. Is it in the other side? Yes, hopefully you'll be able to hear the click. Okay, hopefully you heard the click that time, and hopefully I didn't bend the motherboard when I was pushing that. Okay, and also since I don't have a graphics card to show you it, because my graphics card is in my main machine and a small office computer, and I don't have full-size brackets, I'm going to be using this networking card to show you how to put a graphics card in. It does not use the monitor. Why is my hand shaking again? Okay. Now this is the point. Wait. Don't forget the I/O shield. So you want to grab your I/O shield. Come over here. You see this little hole here on the side of your case? You want to grab your I/O shield. Make sure you have it the right way around. And then just slot it in. See. Just need to push it in here. Okay. Now this is where all your ports will stick out. Normally, some cases you have to bend a piece of metal out. Other more fancy ones, more expensive ones, you can just unscrew a panel I have one removed, and we won't be focusing on loading an operating system because I do not. All my SATA devices are in use. So now we're going to pick up the motherboard. Well, you would want to pick it up from like the edges so you don't bend it. Also, watch out for these cylinder things. They are capacitors and you can break them off easily because they only connected to the motherboard by 2 small pins. If you break them off, then either learn a lot about electronics so you can repair it, or buy a new motherboard. But I'm holding this by the cooler because, yeah, one-handed. Now, making sure you get everything lined up correctly. You want to make sure that all underneath every single screw hole in your motherboard, you see a standoff behind it to make sure everything's in correctly. I did that to just decrease bending. That one, there's no standoff hole, screw hole below it. Okay, here we got the SATA ports. But now we want to screw in the motherboard. Yeah, this motherboard standoff screws should come with your case. Why in the world does my hands keep on shaking? Okay. And also one of the standoffs does not match the others, so I have to use a different type of screw on it. But most of the things uses the same threads on it. Don't like the fact that my hand is still shaking. Don't know why. So now you just don't screw it all the way because you need to make sure that your motherboard is lined up properly before you tighten them. And now, so you see how I did it there. So now you just need to put a screw in all of the holes. So I am just gonna cut this part out because I don't want to watch me just sit here putting in screws. So just gonna place my phone on the ground, cut, and then pick it back up, and all the screws will be magically in. Okay, last one that needs to be tightened. If I can get my screw into the hole. Okay, now all of the motherboard screws are in. And now we're gonna do, so now got our power supply. So this one is an up top one. Make sure you have the one that matches the screws on the case, and it's the correct size. You also need to make sure that your wattage is correct too. The top one says no vent for the power supply on the top of the case, so you have to have the fan facing to the inside of your computer. So you want to, if you have it facing to the top, your power supply won't have any airflow. But if you have like a power supply basement on the bottom of your computer, it would be like a vent on the bottom of the computer, and you have the fan facing that way. So just make sure the power supply can get air with these cables. I don't have any zip ties, so I just use the other power supply cables for cable management. Oh yeah, need to grab the screws. Okay. I'm just gonna. Now with the power supply screws, just grab screwdriver. Yeah, this part is just very simple. Just yeah, underneath the sticker there's this little switch. And that is what the voltage the power supply is set to, as right for the input for the power supply. If you flick the switch that changes the voltage, you will break the power supply. I learned that the hard way. And also, a lot of people call the two icons on the power switch a O and a I. It's a 1 and a 0. It's binary code for on and off. The 1 is on, the 0 is off. That's how binary code works. So the stuff on. Sorry about that. My sister is being a menace. So now we're doing it's called the 20 pin. It goes into your motherboard. But it has these extra 4 pins that can be removed. Make sure if your motherboard needs those removed, then just pop them out, and then you can just slot it in. If it needs them, don't cut the wires. Cutting wire bad. Then you just line up, and it should be impossible for it to go in the wrong way. Now with this, you may want to make sure it's all the way in. So you don't want to see any amount of gap. If there's even a millimeter of a gap, you need to push it in further between the two connectors. Because if there's a gap, then it's not in all the way. Cable management. Now, this is a 4+4 connector here. So this one only needs 4 of the pins, so make sure you get the correct one. So is this the correct one? No. This one. So now same thing here. Want to make sure it goes in all the way. Where is it? So this one you might be able to see. Yes, should be in all the way. And now we get that in. So this, just a simple way. Fan connector, fan goes into fan header. This is a 3-pin one. Modern computers will have a 4-pin one. One like this, like the CPU connector. Ignore the fact that it took me multiple attempts to just plug in a simple fan header. Now these are like your motherboard pins. This one, this piece right here, the right one, is specific for this motherboard. But modern computers have like a standard with the general permission. But always check your motherboard's manual where they go. If it's not on the manual, then there'll be microscopic text on the front around the motherboard headers, pins, stuff. So right now I got power, reset, CD. Then you have your power LEDs, which is the individual connectors. Then you have this little speaker. Its main purpose is for diagnostics, so you know what's going on. These days you have diagnostic LEDs. So you just want to pop them in. So yeah, but that just goes in there. I'll make sure the cable's routed properly. And now going to need to do a CD drive. So this thing uses a hot swappable design. Now I want to be very careful because there's no supports on this specific spot. Because then if I put on too much force in this area, then the motherboard will snap. So you got that in. So this is for the, this will be for the boot device. Don't have one currently. when I end up building a new computer, I'll record it and give you a more detailed version so you can actually know how to put in the boot device. Oh, it's just a normal storage device. So this, okay, got the drive. So this one is DVD and CD by memory. So since the case has a hot swappable design, you need to attach this thing on both sides first. So line up the hole. Now this thing, just slide it in here. Now grab a seed, the power connector, plug it in here. So now put that in. Now we need to grab our other SATA cable, plug it into port number 2. Port number 2. That's in. Now we plug this into. So now we plug it into the port directly next to the power connector. And then now the disk drive is all hooked up. Now I'm gonna put in this thing just to show you how you put in a graphics card. It's very simple, and also graphics cards are much bigger, especially modern ones. But you just line it up, then push in. Now I need to grab a screwdriver, and then you have to get it into the hole. And you want to make sure that you can't see any of the metal pins sticking out. That's how it should be. If you see any metal pins sticking out, it's not in correctly. Now I'm gonna pop the other fan on. You don't need to see me do this. I'm just gonna show you me sliding it in, basically. Okay, so airflow is very important in the computer. Normally you have it in taking from this direction, taking here, but I'm going to be doing it the other way around. And I'm not going to explain how to do how airflow is really supposed to be done. Is mainly because, I barely know how to do myself. With most computers, you have to screw in the fans. This one, you just slide it, slide it in. I was pushing the wrong way. Now time to do you don't need to see this bit. Okay, got the fans all hooked up. Now it's time for the front panel. And then once the front panel is done, well, it's be different with every single one. So you can tell from the original dodgy stuff. So it's the time you want. This is probably the only one you actually need to take off the front panel to use it. Is that to put it to build a computer. The reason why I need to take off this one is putting the drive in, and the hot swap thing is not good. It wasn't done in a good way with this thing. So got the cable routed through. Now, just need to grab this one, pop it through here, this one, pull it from here. Okay, is it all in? On this side, yep. So now should be able to just pop the panel on. Now the front panel's in. Now time for the front ports. They're not using line connectors because USB 2.0 or old. I think it's either USB 2.0 or older. Okay, and now this goes in here. So yeah, you just plugging it into the correct headers. So yeah, come on. I need to start editing my second video for the year. Yes, I'm recording my third one and I haven't even edited my second one. This one, I need to just place it in here. Okay, so everything that needs to be plugged in is plugged in. And now I will pause the recording and start it once I can show you that the computer's up and running. So yeah, just gotta. Okay, moment of truth. Okay, we will be getting display. Oh. It booted, and it's just going on about there's no boot device in it. That's because there's no boot device. So that means the computer is working and I didn't break anything. So yeah, to the outro. Okay, the video is over now. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. If you want more of this content, subscribe. And if you comment down below, then you'll get to see your comment on my first video of 2027. I know we're a while away, but and all the comments I get from in 2026, I'll put in 2027. But keep your comments appropriate. I don't want to delete any due to them being inappropriate. So yeah, the video is over now. So bye.